You're listening to Australia's national youth radio station, Triple J. For more info, go to triplej.net.au.
Sunday Night Safran. Religion, politics, culture, and lisping.
Lisping with an international accent now after my 2 months in Los Angeles. Father Bob.
Sport. Oh, you say you were in Los Angeles. Where do we know you were there?
What?
Well, you could have been somewhere else.
But
You
why
could
would
have
I
been
lie
in the
about
Soviet Republic. What?
It's Soviet Republic.
Yeah, you might be, trying to cover up your tracks. You might be...
So I'm
We've been
somehow
pinko. You've been classified as a pinko.
Yeah. Hasn't the world moved on? Isn't accusing me of being a communist spy, accusing me of being in Troy, in that wooden horse in Troy?
Yes, the wooden horse.
Unless you're accusing me of being the poisoner, one of those sort of Soviet poisoners who goes around poisoning people.
I only dreamed this up because I thought it was too flat to say I've just come back from the US of A.
Ah, yes.
Without some kind of...
Well, what I think you have to ask me questions, because I know how you get hurt if people put on the Triple J message board, if they're like, "Oh, Father Bob, why don't you let John talk?"
Exactly.
Or what? Your feelings get hurt, right?
Yeah.
So I'm telling you,
They don't. What are you talking? You've made this up on the aeroplane.
So what? You've got to ask me general questions about my trip. If I don't talk about my trip,
How was Zelma?
Zelma,
Who was that
Selma
woman?
Hayek.
Yeah.
Didn't see her this time.
Didn't you?
Because they'd sealed the deal with me,
Because
you know
that was
what I mean?
the longest story ever told, they tell me, on ABC radio.
Me going to Selma Hayek's party.
Yeah, do you remember that?
No, didn't. It was the whole stuff.
No, not the party, but the telling of the story was vintage.
Part of it was your constant interruption at every... Yeah.
Snorting they accused me of last year.
You were interrupting so much in that. You're interrupting between syllables. Anyway, ask me a question. Did I see any celebrities? I didn't.
No celebrities.
All I saw was that guy from American Pie, who has... does the thing with the pie.
Bob Hope.
No, not Bob Hope. You're confusing that with... What are those movies with Bob Hope and the other guy who used to beat his children whilst being looked at...
those and Bing Crosby and all of those.
He beat his children.
Who beat his children?
Bing Crosby.
Yeah, he's a Roman Catholic. What are you talking about? What? The nuns taught him everything he learned?
He was like father of the father. I think one of his kids committed suicide.
Oh,
I'm being serious.
Say that. Are you making that up now just because you've been over there with the fundamentalist Protestant from the United States of America?
Wikipedia it. I think Bing Crosby, one of his kids, committed suicide and claimed it was because his father used to beat him and it was this whole...
The Christian brothers used to beat him and flog him.
You're the one dragging the Catholics in. I didn't even know he was Catholic.
I'm going to, before your friends come in here tonight, these anti-religionists...
Uh-oh. By the way, I brought you a present.
What is it?
From America.
Okay, I don't
know whether to show you now or later, because we're going to be playing it later also.
Or we wait.
Can you ask me
What are those cards there? Now we've got cards. Before you went away, we had scraps of paper all over the studio. But now you're organised and you've shaved off your beard, John.
Are you saying I've changed?
He had a beard, listeners. Listen to this. He had ginger beard. You've heard of ginger beer? This is ginger bearded John. Look, did you go from east to west?
What does that mean?
Well, east to west means did you travel?
Travel where? Oh,
across the United States of America.
No, I was in Los Angeles the entire time. And the only...
locked in a room?
Pretty much.
Oh, John.
Do you know where I was? I was at this... I told Robbie Buck this. I was at the Oakwood Apartments, and it's this huge apartment complex in Studio City in North Hollywood. And then there's hundreds and hundreds of apartments there. And their clientele are there's two demographics. One of them is people there for pilot season and people wanting to make a go of it in LA. So you have lots of parents, scruffy looking parents, and they've got their
children,
their adorable looking child who they're hoping is going to be the next big thing, child star.
So Alex was there with you?
Yes, my father Alex was here with me.
A nice man. This is a nice man.
And
Bill's nice too.
So that's one of the clientele, and the other half, recent divorcees. Men just kicked out of home and don't know where to go.
More men than women?
Oh, yeah, definitely. And so, yeah. And I've since found out since then that, it's famous for that. Everyone in LA knows that's where you go when your wife divorces you.
And there's hundreds of these poor buggers in there.
Yeah, these apartments. Yeah, just very... I was quite happy. At the start, I thought it was only, wannabe stars. So I thought, oh, wow, there's a real positive vibe here.
Yes.
Hopes, dreams.
Yeah, all of that. The American dream. The field of dreams.
And then I found out, there was a bit of
Now,
divorce here.
but you didn't, you stayed there for the 2 months?
Yes.
Making, in this darkened room...
Yes.
Writing this script or making this pilot.
It was like Barton Fink. Have you seen Barton Fink, that Coen Brothers film? I was there with my typewriter.
For 2
typing
months.
away. No, then I went to this miserable... the office was in this miserable place around the corner in this street. North Hollywood is awful. It's like smoggy and they've got all these flags up there going... what's it called? Like the Arts District or something?
Yeah.
But it's thou is protesting too much. It's a bit like Queensland, or the clever state or whatever it is. You know what I mean? It's like... It's like they're sort of saying what they're not because it's, what they want to be.
God.
So it's awful.
Oh, my God.
And everything's a bit more... The misery is a bit more pronounced in Los Angeles. Everything that's sort of like slightly miserable about Australia is like turned up to 11. Like for example, like you watch the ads and they've got like just slightly too many ads for like antidepressants where they're sort of like trying to...
God. Have
pitch
they
to
really?
you. They try to pitch to you. Like we have ads...
We know you're depressed out there.
And they try
viewers.
to convince you. They try to convince you that things that are wrong in your life is because of depression, and therefore you should buy it. And there's just so many of these ads. The other thing is the army recruitment ads.
Yes, that's what I'd be interested in.
In Australia, how
Do they offer scholarships and all kinds of perks to you if you join the army?
It's weirder than that. It's like, how in Australia, how we have got like army ads, but they'll just be on... I don't know exactly where they plant them, but you watch them and it's like family time. Sure, they might have a slightly kind of excitable track,
one
track,
shot
track,
out of
track
a
in the
tank
background.
or something.
Yeah. They are so aimed at...
What, at the macho boys and girls?
They're so aimed at the kids. And so it's like on MTV, for example.
Yeah.
Like there's no other way. MTV is aimed at young people. And they have as many ads for army recruiting as we'd have for Coca-Cola or McDonald's. It's like, I reckon it'd be their major sponsor.
What's their major industry?
And all the ads are like hip-hoppy or metal. And really overtly, there's this one ad, I'm not making this up, where these 2 kids are playing like a PlayStation and they're playing a war game on the PlayStation. So they're sitting on the couch, these 2 young kids, and there's 2 little electronic soldiers on the TV screen. And then the soldier turn and talk to the kids playing the PlayStation,
Truly.
the little graphic, and going, hey, sure, you're okay at this, but how would you cope in the real situation? And then they give you a phone number and you ring up and the army has commissioned, whoever the video game people are to make an official army war video game. So you send away for that and then you kind of get all vibed up and then you go to Iraq and get your leg blown off.
Exactly. Well, that's why we've got that beautiful woman coming in tonight, Mary Zournazi, to talk about the key words to war. See what I mean?
That's her book, isn't it?
Yeah. See that segue into from the...
I want to have a fight with her over her...
No, I like the book.
Yeah, I want to have... I flicked through it. So the basic premise of the book is like, since the war, or since 9/11 at least, conservatives have been like manipulating the language to make us feel like we're living in a culture of fear and stuff.
She wants to recapture the original meanings of these words, these key words.
I kind of want to have a fight with her over her book. I really kind of didn't agree. But I'm not...
I'm going to be nice to her. I want to have a
feel
fight
like I'm
with
going to
Tamas
be rude.
Pataki.
Because she would have put so much work into that. And I'm not saying it's badly written.
And each chapter ends with a lovely thought for the week.
But I'm just thinking...
See, violence, for example, which is one of the last words, as you would expect, before W for war. The last sentence is always lovely. It may be that non-violence, it may be construed as such as not the opposite of violence, offers something altogether different, a re-evaluation of... Beautiful thought at the end.
And who's our other author that's coming?
That's Mr. Your Friend, of course, Tamas Pataki.
And what's he written?
He's against religion.
And written a book called Against Religion.
Oh, yes.
This is all leading up for getting Richard Dawkins on just to beat you over the head.
We're going to have Dick Dawkins.
He's going to come into the studio. He's going to beat you.
Is he not coming into the studio?
He's going to beat you with a baseball
What about
cap and
Hitchens?
ask you where your God is. You're lying there. Hitchens. It'd be good to get him in, but, he's quite
And the other bloke,
drunk.
the French man.
The French
Michael,
man.
Whatever his name
Yeah,
is.
we're just going to have atheists all this year.
All the time, I think, don't you? Anyhow, listen, welcome back to Australia.
And we've got some other documentary maker.
We've got this. I watched it last night, by God. Gas Station by the Belgian gentleman called... You can pronounce these things since you've been overseas.
Is it King Leonardo?
It's not King Leonardo, it's Luke Vrijdaghs.
He's the only famous Belgium... Is that his name,
he?
King Leonardo? Or is that Leonardo Lion?
No.
Leopold!
This is Luke.
Yeah, but who's the famous Belgian who went to the Congo? Is that Leopold or
King
Leonardo?
Leopold went to the...
Yeah, I'm confusing it with King Leonardo, the animated lion.
So your brain's...
Anyway, he's done a documentary where he's gone around to different
documentary.
gas stations.
Yeah, which is excellent.
And that's his language. It's
We
not like
go
I've been
to-
to America for 2
No.
months and now I'm calling petrol stations gas stations.
Arizona, Punjab and Kalkaringi in Darwin, near Darwin. Excellent.
3 guests.
3 guests, yeah, you got 3 guests.
And you'll be trying to push Catholicism on the
I'll be
kids too.
trying to get everybody, yes, to sign up for Archbishop Hickey of Western Australia and Cardinal Pell of Sydney's Special Catholic Club.
We'll
Stem
have more-
cells are not invited.
We'll have more after this.
Simeon Mobile Disco, I believe, from the album Attack, Decay, Sustain. See, that's a long way to watch for me with these glasses.
Yeah, no, Bob, there's been changes around
Big
here.
changes.
As well as my card system here, Bob now has to read off the
I've got
screen.
to read off the thing here.
But this
they
whole
used
system,
to give us little
this
bits
whole
of paper.
system's been set up for the youngsters with their pink hair, who are the regular, the 18-year-olds.
Yeah, any 18-year-old should be able to see that from here, shouldn't they?
They didn't keep in mind that there is a
No, a
73-year-old priest with bad eyes.
And I might need to bring binoculars to next week's episode, isn't it? Anyway, that's what I think it says,
one of those old
kiddies.
people magnifying
Simeon
glass.
Mobile Disco.
Do you read with a magnifying glass, like one of those old people?
Not
you
yet.
See? Not yet.
Not yet.
I think you need a
I'll have to
magnifying-
get it to see the... They reckon you can... Why can't we have a bigger screen than that? This is the national television, isn't it?
What you want, like a large print?
Yeah.
Like when you go to the library and you can get the large print
But
books. You
even
want
though
the
it's
print.
green that they have on
It's youth radio. They can't be setting up the whole of youth radio over the one 73-year-old.
But
senior
there are
citizen.
kiddies who can't see too, aren't there? I've
Oh,
seen
way to
kiddies.
drag the show down. Talking about the kiddies who can't see.
Well, I see kiddies with glasses on.
Do you know
Small kiddies.
Do you know I found out there's Braille Scrabble? Sorry to bring up Scrabble. So everyone, a collective groan around Australia. It's like, wasn't that the 2 months where we didn't have to hear about Scrabble? Anyway, I heard there was Braille Scrabble, right? And I thought, buy Braille Scrabble because then I can play Scrabble with some blind person, right? Don't look
How
at me
can you
like-
do that?
Well, because they'll be
right,
they'll be
right.
able to play or whatever, right? But then I checked it out. I went to the blind because around in Malvern Road or whatever in Melbourne, there's the blind thing or whatever. I went there, and how apartheid is this? It's the Braille Scrabble doesn't have the letters on it for sightseeing people, so it's like you have to know Braille. It's not like how much easier it would have been if they would have printed the letter on the tile, then plus had the Braille on it. So therefore the non-eye-sighted community and us normal people could have played Scrabble together.
So you feel discriminated against?
I do. I'm going to be suing the
Braille.
the Braille Institute.
Why don't you learn Braille so you can play with Braille?
No, good point.
Isn't it?
Anyway, on the subject of language, you want to introduce our next guest?
Yeah, great book. Great book. Keywords to War, Reviving Language in an Age of Terror. Mary Zournazi.
Hello?
Hello.
How are you?
Thank you. I'm pretty good.
I like this
I'm pretty
book.
good.
Do you have any opinions on Braille, being that you're an etymologist?
Well, I'm actually quite pleased that you can't do it, that you're discriminated against, John.
Oh, really? Are you one of those? Oh, you're one of those people who thinks us dead white men,
Sighted
even though
people.
I'm quite young. And surely the fact I'm Jewish kind of means I'm not totally one of those white people, but you think I should be discriminated against so I know
I think so.
So I know
I
how it
think
feels
so.
like to
After
be
that-
an Aboriginal woman or something. Now, this is the only show where we racially profile all our guests. I was reading your book. You said you grew up learning Greek, Arabic
Yes.
and French. Why? Why those 3 languages?
Well, we're Egyptian Greek, so my family's from Egypt, but we're Greek. And
Which
my mother...
side which? I find this stuff interesting, even though listeners are like...
Which side's which?
Yeah, which side which?
Well, we're all Greek.
You're all Greek. So
but we grew up... Well, they all grew up, except for me. I was born here, quite fortunately.
And they grew up in Egypt.
They grew up in Egypt and
French-occupied Egypt.
Yes. Yeah.
Casablanca.
French, indeed. Well, Yes. No, Casablanca's not in Egypt.
It's all right. Humphrey Bogart.
But Humphrey Bogart, yes. So the French came in with that because my mother learnt French, so she taught me French lullabies, actually. Really nice.
And have you learnt any new languages, or did you learn them all when you were young and you haven't put any effort into it? Because surely if you learnt those when you were so young, by now you should know about 27 languages.
Well, it worked in reverse for me. I actually didn't learn them all very well at all. Partly because I grew up in the 70s here and I really didn't want to know about being a wog.
Oh, yeah.
I really didn't want to know about the other languages, and I really regret it now. I really regret it.
Same with me, because I grew up...
You regret it? I really regret it.
I sort of could have learnt Yiddish a bit, like not totally, but my grandparents were blah, 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 in Yiddish around me. I never learnt it now. You know, it'd be great.
Is it?
Yeah, sort of.
Yeah, well, I'm hoping I might retrieve it somehow, but I really, really feel it was a lost opportunity, you know.
Maybe you can
hated it.
Maybe
I hated
you can learn
school.
your language, I can learn mine, and we can play Braille, Yiddish, Greek, Scrabble.
That could be fun. Yeah, that could be fun.
Now, you've written this book. Well done on writing a book. 183 pages. So that's good.
No, it's more than that. It's more than that, but it doesn't matter. It's close to 200.
It's 185, so it's
no,
like...
it's not.
It's not. It's 100. Look, go past the thing.
Just forget it. Just forget it. It's a big book with a lot of effort.
I can't believe you're counting the afterword where it's just all like double space and you're just talking about these other...
It's 194.
That wasn't meant to be like a fight. I really meant, I just meant it like complimentarily because I've tried to write books over the years and I just realised it's quite a...
He's trying to destabilise you, Mary. He told me off the...
That's not true at all.
He's going
now,
to
what's
get
the thesis? What's the thesis behind this book? I thought because you're highbrow, I'd use a word like thesis. Go on.
Yeah. Well, I wouldn't call myself highbrow at all. This book's actually meant to be for everybody. I guess it's that I believe that we have a mental state of war, and that sort of serves to sort of influence our politics, the culture around us, and even our everyday kind of conversations.
So are you saying like since 9/11, the politicians have been trying to use words in different ways than they were used before to try to get us to think different things?
Well, I think it's been heightened since 9/11, but I think that kind of mental state of war has been around for, a long time. But it's just changed even more so, and the book's really a response to that change, and also just feeling really disturbed by it all and wanting to make some kind of effort to say something about it, I guess. Yeah.
Now, can we have a fight at one point? I wanted to have a fight with you over something in the book.
Okay, I'm ready.
But, I don't want to say... I'm, really bad at being... I have no reason to get aggressive or anything. And, by the way, very well written. And the etymology... And I found... Before I went on air, I found out... Because I usually trip up. And, because there's that insect one. What's that? Entomology?
Oh, yes.
And I'm trying to sound highbrow with someone. I say entomology instead of etymology. But anyway,
yes.
So very interesting and stuff. I was reading this and I was thinking... Don't you think, like the anti-war left, for example... They also have their whole... language of trying to fudge things. And so even if you make the argument, well, they're not in power or they're not dropping the bombs, okay, that's fine. But it's like, actually, when it comes to, propaganda, don't they, just how all over the place there's anti-Americanism and...
Yeah. I know, and I agree. And I don't think that this book's actually just about conservatives. I think it's about the whole of our public culture. So, you could be left, you could be right, but you could still use the same ideas around freedom or whatever and still get it stuffed up.
Because I was thinking about now, when a bomb goes off in Iraq and 200 people die, it used to be, I remember 3 years ago, the way it was explained, if someone wanted to criticise George Bush or the Americans, they'd go, oh, well, that's awful that this terrorist has done this or this person has done this, but you've got to understand that, they were under pressure or they don't like the occupation. And then that's how they'd sort of explain it. Whilst now, it's just shorthanded to everything, it's like someone blows up something in Iraq and it's like the Americans did it. And it's like, well, you know what I mean? They've totally shorthanded it. So that's why when I was reading your book, I was thinking, isn't there sort of this sort of manipulating the language in totally the opposite way?
Yeah. I get what you're saying. I think, yes. Except I'm not completely clear there. Father Bob, can you help me?
No, with him I can't, because I'm always trying to work out what the hell. But the point is because he's worried about being classified. You see?
No, not at all.
John
No,
is
don't
about being
the
slightly
truth.
highbrow.
Right.
Is
No,
that the point?
I get whacked afterwards because you see
Right.
he'll say I've ruined the interview. I like the book because every chapter ends in a positive way.
Yeah, that
You
was the
sum
attempt.
things up beautifully and say, listen, girls and boys, if only we recapture the meaning of this word, we will in fact be contributing to the building up of a communication system amongst all human beings.
Yeah,
Isn't it?
indeed. I mean, and I think that
Expect
that's what
that
I'm-
from the clergyman, John, if you don't mind.
Yeah, and look, to tell you the truth, I think there's a bit of spirituality in this book, I must say. I think there's a bit of... I'm not religious, but there's definitely... I heard somebody say the other day, secular sacred. I like that. I like the idea of having
I like
a
that.
sort of sacredness
If I
to
ran down that
words.
list of words from alienation to war, I would say that each chapter, in fact, has got a spiritual twist in it.
I would agree.
You know, Mary, I have faith in humans that they don't always get suckered in when people above are trying to use words to manipulate them. And I'll give you two examples. I'll give you two examples. You know the word metrosexual? When it came out, it was meant in this sort of serious way, like the people who wrote, the Sunday magazines and sort of talk about trends and stuff like that. And they tried to introduce this term seriously, metrosexual, and it was totally rejected. It was no, we're not going to put that in our language. And then it came out used in a very kind of sarcastic, humorous way, kind of going, almost saying screw you, we're not going to take this on as a serious concept, we're just going to take the mickey out of it. And I guess things like Axis of Evil, it didn't take long, it took about half an hour after they tried to dump this term Axis of Evil on us, and everyone was printing up T-shirts and taking the mickey out of the whole concept. So I don't think we can be hopeful that people aren't going to be suckered in.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. But I still think that even things like using the word evil, using the word terror has become almost so offhand that we really need to actually think about where these words come from, how they're being used. Even if we can joke about them, I agree, but we really need to know their histories, how they've been used in the past. Like terror, axis of evil really is not something new. It came from the Cold War, and just trying to understand that kind of history, political history, and how it just kind of resurfaces and happens again and again. And, the need to really think about that, because otherwise we're just not going to have a kind of, a sort of culture where we can actually change and resist things that we don't agree with.
So how does that all balance out with the thing that, language is evolving and, definitions slowly change and la-di-da, la-di-da?
Well, they do evolve and they do change, but they also, there's certain kind of aspects of words that are picked up in popular culture. So the good sides of words, for instance, that might be possible, tend to get dropped, and then we just sort of focus on the more negative aspects of the word. We have such a great word, freedom, which is the most beautiful word you could imagine, but what it actually means now is completely different to perhaps what its etymology or its original sense was. I think freedom now means sedition, it means censorship, it means war in Iraq, it means fighting. It doesn't mean actually what it should mean, which is about living freely, trying to negotiate our cultures, trying to live amongst everybody, actually, with all different faiths, and trying to understand different cultures.
I like you. Well, you go back in history and you say this word first popped up in the 15th century, then it gradually changed in meaning to that, and this, and like allegiance, the first one.
Yeah.
And then that's very helpful. See, but I'm a bit nervous, that's all, that in fact we're too lazy. The population may well be too lazy or too overworked or God knows what to go to the trouble of doing an essential exercise which you're saying needs to be done. It's an essential
that's why I've
exercise.
written the book.
Well, how are we going to get the poor old 90, whatever it is, % of Australian citizens to get to the book?
Well, just tell them how good it is, I reckon.
Well, they've got to read it, but I mean, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
We almost
Yeah, I do
need
know what you
another
mean.
language, speaking in tongues, where you can get from your... See, you're right, there's no question about that.
Well, I don't know if I'm right. I'm just trying to
I
sort of
think
make
you're
a
right.
small step towards something. I think, to say I'm right is kind of a bit up myself. I don't think that's the case. I mean, people could argue whatever they like, but it's trying to sort of, I guess,
As a
getting people to
practitioner,
talk
I
again.
know
Getting
you're
people
right.
to talk again. Getting people to communicate
And you
again.
also
Actually to
referred
talk.
to Don Watson's death sentence.
Yeah.
Which I thought was, you reckon that was a good summary of...
I'm not having a go at Don
The
Watson,
predicament.
but again, it's like if you're going to write a book that's about propaganda and how the language is used, it's like, I don't know, like his whole book came from one side. I don't know how you write a book
What,
about
Pinko left?
Yeah, like yes, basically.
God, we've got to be careful of Pinko leftists.
But if the whole
But I thought
point
John
of,
was one.
Yeah.
I
If
thought
the
that's
whole
what you called him.
if the whole,
He's a neocon posing as a Pinko left.
Ah.
Did you know that? The most
No,
dangerous.
I know now.
The most
I know.
dangerous type of them all. Poseur.
what book are you going to move on to next after this, Mary?
Well, the next one's actually about peace.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah. This is actually, in fact, I think Keywords to War is about peace, but the next book's about peace.
Oh, that's good.
I really honestly can't believe you got so shirty by me saying, how many did I say? It was 183. It truly is 186 pages.
But there's
It's
blood,
not,
toil,
John.
tears and
It's not,
sweat
John.
on
Yeah, that's
every
right.
page.
It's-
What are you
Yeah,
referring?
exactly.
You must have some other edition.
Well, I've got my edition, and I think my edition
Hey, have you
surely
got it
should
in-
be the right one, I
Have
hope.
you got it in front of you?
I do have it right in front of me, right here.
Okay.
194.
Tell me on what-
194.
Yeah, but you're including the
Oh,
acknowledgement
get
page.
out. That's the whole book,
That's the
though.
whole book. It's, God,
You count
mercy.
everything. Everything's
Hey,
And
you
the
counting
back
that
cover
blank
made
page at the back?
195, and the front cover
Although I
is
will give you this, it does
196.
start on page 1. It's not one of these things where it starts on page 7 and you're counting it. Anyway,
Yeah.
thank you very much, Mary. Good luck with the book.
Thank you.
How will you disseminate it?
I just wrapped up the interview, Bob, and you've wound it up again.
Well, I
Hello.
just want the kiddies to know we were home again.
Keywords to War, out now.
Mary Zournazi.
Thank you, Father Bob.
They haven't heard that for a while.
When I was in America, there was an advertising campaign which I thought was genius. Genius.
Go on.
Because you know how, like, you just have to come up with new angles, like, and you just have to be audacious.
Yes.
Taco Bell, I think it was Taco Bell, they've got this campaign there, and it's called The Fourth Meal, where they're trying to convince us that we need 4 meals a day, not 3. So, because we've already they've already kind of got us with the other meals, so let's
Yeah.
try to normalise that you have a 4th meal, and they have, TV ads, and they have ads outside their Taco Bells.
What specific difference is there for the fourth meal? Is it lighter? Is it bigger?
No,
What
it's just
time-
it's just like trying to adjust our brains. So it's like,
Yeah?
it's like
3 meals a day equals
Yeah.
4 meals a day.
Stop thinking that you only need 3 meals a day. Have a 4th one. Very fat people in America.
Very fat people.
I tell you who's fat. I mean, obviously
No names.
old people are fat and the kids are
Yes.
fat. But where I was working, just quietly, there was like all the guys who were 20 years old.
Yeah.
I'm talking about a majority of them, 80. I don't know, whatever.
Twice as big as you.
But because they're only 20, so their skin is still taut or whatever,
Yeah.
it's like they would be they're obese and the food's pushing again, and their belly's pushing against the skin, but it kind of hasn't
God.
collapsed yet.
Oh, my God. What do you mean?
It was like this new type of fat that I'd never seen before. Do you know, hey, kiddies, if you're listening, can I tell you when I went to primary school, there was the fat kid. There was one fat kid in the whole school. And then now everyone's the fat kid.
But there's competitions for them on television where everybody loses enormous amounts of weight over 6 months and gets prizes for it. See what I mean? But if you lose your body weight, do you lose your personality? See what I mean?
I don't understand this thing where it's media images, they're pressuring people to be thin and all that. Where are all these thin people? Where are all these people who are where's this community of people really, really thin because of women's magazines having thin models?
On
It
the
seems
catwalk, aren't they?
Well, it seems like everyone in the street's really fat. It seems like the media isn't pressuring us enough to be thin. We should get even thinner models and more of them across the
All right.
board.
All right. This is the bloke who's just come back after 8 weeks stuffing himself with
Carl's Jr.
stacked
burgers.
pancakes for breakfast. 8 bikelets for breakfast. Hey?
Hey?
Go on. What about the corn cobs?
Now, Bob, I dropped into your church a few days ago.
Did you? What'd you see this time?
Well, first of all, I've got a confession to make. I know this is...
Oh, God, but you've taken something from the church.
No, I haven't. Unfortunately, this is when I went to drop off the DVD of the Belgian doco.
Yes, of Mr. Dryberg.
I'm quite bad at driving, and your one of your little garden areas where the bricks are around.
Down?
The
pot. You're the bloke who knocked the legs off the pot.
No, I knocked down one of the large bricks surrounding one of the things, and then I was like, "Oh my God, how am I going to?" And then, like one of the homeless or whatever, one of those people that hangs around your church. He ran on, almost like he's the stagehand at a concert, like at a heavy metal concert.
Stop!
And like the electric guitars kind of come out, and he comes on in his black t-shirt, ducking down a bit to plug the guitar back in. He did that as soon as I knocked over your well-landscaped garden. He kind of ran into shot. And then he put the large brick back into place. He would have been great in doing the pyramid. Anyway, I'm sorry. I had to tell you that.
Oh, I'm glad. That shows a bit of, doesn't it, a tender conscience.
And Annette?
Yes, go on.
Your assistant. She said she was happy that I was back because with all the free time you've had not having Triple J, she said you've been sticking your nose into
administrative business.
Yeah, and just driving everyone. Is that true?
There could be a touch of truth in it. There could be a touch. But I've tried to keep up. I said by the time he's back, if he ever gets back, because if they make him an offer, he won't come back at all. I knew that.
You said to me, you're complaining. You were saying that you have all these great ideas.
Yeah, lots of ideas.
Like in the middle of the night at 2 a.m. And 2 a.m. And then by 9 a.m...
They're dead on the floor.
They're knocked down by the church committee. What are these ideas? Give us an idea of some of these
beautiful ideas. Beautiful
like what?
Ideas.
Like
how to wrap the church itself up.
Ah, yes.
In a ribbon.
Yes, a metaphorical ribbon.
Like Christo. No, a real ribbon. What are you talking about, a metaphorical bloody ribbon? I mean, get a thing.
What? And then the church committee's knocking that idea back.
Well, they give you that look.
Yeah.
I'm saying, look, we've got a unique selling point here, and it's not you and it's not me, because we're all old and ugly.
Yes.
But this was
either you in that ugly?
I not include you see. But we wrapped the church... Look at that. Or I said, why can't we have a sound and light show in the niche above the main door?
What's a niche?
A niche means a hole, a groove, a cave in the top of the church that we have.
So these are...
Instead of having a bloody statue standing there for 150 years,
I
wanted a thing. What do you call it? A hollow thing. A holograph.
Pink Floyd laser light.
Holograph.
Why don't you have like a giant... inflatable pig floating.
Now it changes every day. This thing. I'm having ideas now as we shouldn't have started this because it goes on and on. But by 9 o'clock, I swear, all these ideas are lying dead on the floor of the bloody office, as though a dingo had taken my baby.
I had a good idea earlier on today because I was thinking of you because I had this good idea and then it was like. Because I'm the same as you. I'm always like driving around and I think of these ideas and then somehow the next thing I know, they haven't got up.
No.
And I was thinking about that that Beyonce song. Oh. Do you know what mashups? You know a mashup? That's where you kind of get two songs and you remix them together.
Yes.
So it started like it was just random.
Like Three Blind Mice.
Yeah, it started just random, like, this song sounds good with that song. And then people started getting clever. So like this guy remixed Jay-Z's Black Album with the Beatles' White Album. See how that's a concept? And it became the Grey Album. Because, Jay-Z had an album called the Black Album.
Yeah, but that's verbal mixing. What about, do they actually mix music?
I had this idea. Yeah. I had this idea because there's...
You shouldn't be shouting. She's going to tell us to shut up in a minute. Yeah, go on.
There's this Destiny's Child song, Bootylicious, where at the start of it, it goes, Beyonce, can you handle this? Right? That's how it goes at the start. And I thought, why not mash that up with Handle? Oh. See what I mean? If it was like, Beyonce, can you handle this?
Oh,
and then Handle classical music is playing underneath it.
Oh, my God. Now, what happened to that idea?
Dead on the ground, like a dingo is taking it.
It was thrown out of the window like a Minty's wrapper.
If you can come up with a mashup concept that's as ingenious as my Beyonce, can you handle this mashed up with Handle?
Oh dear.
Go to the guest book, abc.net.au/Triple J/Safran.
Oh dear.
And, give your contributions.
I like that. Well, that was what I was waiting 2 months for. Oh, yeah. Isn't that nice?
And now we have a guest from where, Father Bob?
From Belgium. From Belgium. This is Vrijdaghs, the Belgian director of the gas station documentary series, and a damn good series it is too. You're going to say whether I pronounced that name right.
Did he pronounce it right?
It is almost there, yes.
Almost, isn't it? It's very difficult. It's like Maguire. It's very difficult. Sorry about that.
Now, you've done a documentary series where you go around to different gas stations around the world, and you film there, and you're hoping it reflects something bigger than just a literal gas station. What were you trying to do with this?
Well, it was by traveling by myself for a long time. It's a place for me. It was like a rest place when you're traveling, where a lot of people come. Everybody has to go there, all kind of people. So for me, you hear a lot of stories there. People, drop by, know each other, and talk to each other about daily life. So I try to find places where that still exists, because it's not everywhere in the world that there are still these little encounter places. And I try to find all kind of different issues that really matters, like the one in Australia, for example, where people really are seeing the gas station as a center to meet each other and to talk and to live for a piece of their life.
And where did you go in Australia?
In Australia, I was in the Northern Territory. It was a Aboriginal, community in the Northern Territory. Kalkarinji was the name. It was really completely in the desert, far away from everything. You guys are used to it, but for us it's rather bizarre to have a community with 200-300 kilometers in the neighborhood. You have nothing, so the only thing that was there was this gas station with a shop, and everybody was hanging there all day from the morning till the evening around the gas station. That was the center point of this community. All the Aboriginal people are hanging there. They eat there. They don't cook. They eat in the gas station. So this was really a social,
a remarkable couple. That white Australians. Remarkable couple. But, because I was a bit nervous that, in fact, they were probably going to be rednecks who said, these people can't look after themselves. But that wasn't the case. That wasn't the point.
No, it was more the opposite, because I try to tell stories, and I don't want to, like my American stories also like this. I want to stay objective and just tell a story that is like a bizarre situation. For me, like the Aboriginal story was also a bizarre situation, that those two white people are running this place. They try to teach the people how to live, how they have to treat money, how they have to do business, how they have to work, get up in the morning and work. So these two people were like doing something for a good cause, let's say. Yeah.
Now, you also shot one in Arizona and one in India.
Yes, the one in Arizona is about the immigration, about the Mexicans coming over the border, and the gas station was like on the border line, which was also very bizarre, because they go and hunt at night in their spare time on the Mexicans.
The immigration debate, because I've just been in America. It's very interesting. It's not what an Australian would expect it to be. For instance, George W. Bush is in favour of implicitly as opposed to explicitly, is in favour of illegal immigration because it's good for big business, to have this labour. It's all very complicated.
Very, very, very complicated, yes. Because they need them. If you know how many percentage of Mexicans who are living in America, legal and more illegal, they're doing all the jobs in all the towns in America. All the dirty jobs are done by Mexicans, so they need them for the economy, but still they don't want them. It's very double,
and it says here that you shot also ones in Iceland and the Czech Republic.
Yes.
And are you just going to be doing this for the rest of your life, or are you going to stop
No.
at some point?
It was something that I did for like 4 or 5 years, because I had to find the money in between all the time again for the next episode. It wasn't easy. I mean, it costed money, the project.
And did you shoot this alone, or did you have a crew?
We had a little crew, because we shoot it on video, but we shoot it with 35mm lenses with a special adapter on a normal video camera.
Yes,
and then you get these images who are rather nice, who are more like a feel of featuring a movie feel. I mean, with
Yeah, but
35mm lens.
that's how it came across too.
Now, this is playing at the St Kilda Film Festival in Melbourne. Is it going to be playing in other places around Australia? Or you just
In
don't know?
Australia, for the moment, I don't know. It's been already around Europe, and also it was in the MoMA in New York. They had a special edition with it in the museum. That was also very nice. So it does a little bit of tour around the world for the moment.
Excellent.
Yeah, in festivals,
Well, thank you very much for joining us, and I'm sure
No
everyone will
problem.
go and watch your fine documentary series.
Okay,
See ya.
thank
Bye-bye.
you. Yo, bye-bye.
Listen, I hate to go on about Scrabble again.
Yeah, go
But when I was in America, there was this woman on staff where I was, and in fact, she's like I can name drop her as sort of like by association. She was like the researcher on my show, and she was researcher on the Borat movie.
Oh, that's.
And if you type her
name-dropping.
name into Google, Chelsea Barnard, all it is people who were pranked by Borat warning about her. That's her only kind of thing that comes up on Google. Anyway, she was like half Cherokee Indian, so she was kind of like quite striking looking, like high cheekbones and stuff. Why are you looking at
And
me like that?
feathers.
No, not feathers.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. Anyway, so, I didn't really I talked to her at work or whatever, but, whatever. And anyway, it came up that she liked Scrabble, right? And I forgot about it, right? And then she left because, she wasn't there for the whole 2 months on staff, and then she left. And then after she left, I thought, because I wanted to play Scrabble. So I contacted her and I said, do you want to play Scrabble? She said, yeah.
My place or yours?
And so we arranged to play Scrabble, and then she at the last minute, after I think it's she goes, I've something's come up or whatever, and I'm like, yeah, whatever, cool. Then I organise it the second time, and the same thing happens again, right? And I'm because I've been hankering for this Scrabble game because I play once a week with Weinstein, and Weinstein wasn't there. And then the third time, it's the same thing. We organised a Scrabble match, and she pulled, and then I realised, that she thinks I'm trying to hit on her, when really I was genuinely
Did you
just
use
wanted
the
a
word
Scrabble.
Scrabble?
I did,
Well, that should have
and
cleared it
I
all
felt
up.
like an idiot.
She
and
wouldn't
then
be suspicious at all.
then I
would she?
wanted I wanted sort of references from people in Australia so I could fax them to her.
Yeah.
That I really, really need
whom
to
it
play
may
Scrabble,
concern.
and it wasn't some excuse.
You didn't ring me.
They
I
kind
could have
of
said that you were
hit on
totally
her.
and permanently responsible.
Anyway, Chelsea
Well, that's
Barnard.
very sad. 3 times knockback.
I wasn't trying to hit. I really was just trying to play
See, 3
Scrabble.
strikes and
Sometimes
you're out.
a cigar's a cigar, and sometimes a Scrabble match is a Scrabble match.
Very rarely, but especially there, the land of the brave. Anyhow, so what kind of... I'm saying immediate impact. When you stepped and you've stayed around for a few days,
Yes.
what hits you right between the eyes, apart from the fact that everybody's fat?
Well, in LA, if you walk across a wide road, or the cars stop. You know how in Australia you do a little bit of a dance, you're on the sidewalk, and you walk out, and then it's that car's coming, I'll step back and me or whatever, and you kind of you're negotiate it. There, cars go, and you're
You'd have a fright, wouldn't you?
yeah, and you feel all awkward, you've just you're like ooh, and so I don't know why they do that. I no doubt all the anti-Americans who listen to Triple J will think of some sneering reason that makes Americans feel they're worried about getting sued because they're inferior, and they're all cynical or something like that. Yeah, as opposed to maybe they're just they're decent, more decent than you on some level. Has that ever occurred to you in your sneeringness? No. But so
Who are you talking to? You're talking to the kiddies.
I don't know. I'm talking to the voice in my head.
What?
And of course, the other thing is what everyone tells you is the whole tipping thing is quite confusing because you tip and then you don't tip other people.
Yes. Oh,
I went to a barber to get my hair cut for the show, and I got given my money by the production, because it was a television haircut, and they said, here's the $30, and then they go, and here's the $5 tip. You tip the barber. You tip this white middle-class guy, right? And then so you tip the barber, but then it's when you go to the shopping centre at the Beverly Centre or to the Grove to do some shopping, and then there's some Mexican with a mustache.
No tip.
Who kind of, when you put your ticket in at the end to pay your thing, you don't tip them. I don't know, it's all confusing. And then some you tip at the table, at the mall, at the deli.
You learn that from your mother's milk, with your mother's milk probably.
Yes. There you go.
And loads of water for meals.
What are you talking
Well,
about?
they put water on the table every time they sit down, don't they?
What? No?
Water in glasses and jugs. Is that 1944, I suppose? That was the great... You knew that they were Yanks.
If they put water on the...
Water had to go first onto the table.
I'm not saying your cultural reference points are out of date.
Well, they are
But you
out of date
you are
because
standing
I
like one of
haven't
those
been
stand-up
anywhere.
comedians who's still talking about infomercials.
You see? Yeah, I like that infomercial. What's wrong with that?
No, nothing's
It's
wrong
gone.
with that.
Anyway, listen, who are we talking to next? We're talking to my friend.
Can I just clear something up with you, Bob?
What?
That because when I went on that excursion with you earlier in the week, where you drove me to look at your
I
Archibald,
drove you to the art gallery.
so I could look at your Archibald painting.
See me hanging in the gallery.
Who did your painting?
She's called Barbara Biggins. Yeah, Barbara Biggins.
And then we went across the road to where there was like some Hummers.
Oh, those huge Humvees.
Can I just say this because it's quite
What?
awkward? I'm actually not that famous. So you can't, like, go up to people in the
You
street.
said this is John Safran.
Yeah,
and
it's
he
awkward.
said
It's an awkward moment. We went to this place where, because they had these big
these
Hummers,
old Hummer,
and Bob makes this big song and dance
it
to
wasn't
the
that
guy
big.
and says, this is John Safran for the radio, and stuff like that. And the guy's like, and it's just this awkward moment, and then suddenly
I don't know that, he said. Or,
yeah, I'm not like Rove McManus or anything. It's sort of like I'm like kind of within a context.
Yeah, but I thought
I
that-
just, if in doubt, just assume people don't know who I am, Bob, and don't make this big kind of...
No, I don't like that. because then
clarion
I'd get
call.
bashed the other way. The next week, come on the bloody show and you'll be saying things like, oh, well, he never introduced me and let them know who I was. Anyway, that was a nice little trip. I'm glad you enjoyed that little trip after your overseas trip.
It was good. And then you took me to the bakery.
The bakery, Annabelle's, in
To talk to-
Albert Park, to talk to Clint.
Who's drawing...
Who's drawing little.
Just explain, what's he doing? He's drawing
He's
pictures
made-
for an apologia.
I've got a little booklet that I did in 2002.
And
when
what's
I
it
was-
called? An apologia?
Apologia.
What's an
for my-
apologia?
It's an explanation.
Hmm.
How did you get to this point in time, Bobby Maguire? See, because people
So
were
you-
having a
you
go
think-
at me in those days from the hierarchy in the church and around the traps.
And you're getting
saying,
this poor guy, this young guy at the
I'm
baker.
paying him. I'm paying him.
Oh, really? What's he getting per
I'm not
sketch?
saying nothing.
Is that coming out of your
I'm not
pocket,
saying
or is
that.
is that
coming out of my personal...
it's not coming out of the church's account?
Oh, God. Look, let's talk about sleaze. I thought you would have been out sleazed there. Anyway, I pick photographs out of the newspaper and I say,
Yes.
that means a lot to me, that photograph. That reminds me of what happened to me in my life.
So an apologia, that's not like an
It's
apology.
not an apology, it's an explanation.
How much
Let
is he
me
getting per
explain
sketch?
myself.
How
I'm
much
not
is
saying
Clint from the
anything
bakery getting per sketch?
He's a beautiful sketcher.
Yeah, no, it looked good what he
Well, it
done.
looked good, see. Now, what I'm saying is the pictures that I took and put through the Canon, whatever that thing's called, what do you call it? Reproducer. What's that thing? Copier.
So like $5 per picture or what?
I
more?
put them through
Higher
there.
or lower?
They come out dark, and it's no good for me to explain to people like you,
Yes.
thick. This gloomy photograph represents this to me, an apologia of that time in my life.
Yes.
So I said to myself, this Clint can actually do a sketch. And there'll be no gloom.
Are you going to do
It'll be clear.
Are you going to do an encyclical
I'm going
after
to-
this apologia?
I'm going to try to leave this behind me for people like you to say, listen, this is what I was on about. See what I mean?
How much are you paying him?
I'm not saying anything.
After this, we have
Tamas Pataki,
author of
Melbourne
Against
professor,
Religion.
honorary senior fellow and sometime lecturer in philosophy.
No, hang on, no, we don't. The producer's saying we don't. I think after this, we just rabbit on some more. Okay, forget we ever said that. This is Sunday Night Safran with me and Father Bob. Best thing about America, obviously, I got to mingle with different ethnic types than are here in Australia. I mentioned the half Cherokee Indian before. Do you know there's this sort of weird Cherokee Indian, Black American kind of tension?
No, I don't know that.
I
I only go in the movies.
No. This is what happened.
Yeah,
Because
that's what I mean. Is that I don't see it portrayed in the movies.
Oh yeah, but do you know that because Cherokee Indians
Beat the 7th Cavalry, did they?
they used to own black slaves just like white people own black slaves.
Thank you, John. Thank you.
So
I
it's
knew
like-
if I came for 2 hours, there'd be an insight.
Yes,
Thank
Cherokee Indians who are now considered, screwed over and oppressed and all that stuff in America.
Yeah, come on.
Back in the old days, they used to own black slaves just like white people. This is leading to something, by the way.
I know.
This is what I told
leading to
Chelsea Barnard, the half Cherokee Indian who thought I was hitting on her because I was asking her to play Scrabble when I wasn't. Although she was one of those halfies. She had quite high cheekbones. Anyway, because they used to own black slaves, the descendants of these black slaves became part of the Cherokee Nation. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that's all right.
Explaining. You know how
clear.
You know how
crystal clear.
You know, like Paul Kelly, some kind of honorary Aborigine, even though
these black Americans.
So anyway, these descendants of the black slaves owned by the Cherokee Indians became part of the Cherokee Nation. They were considered part of it, and that all sounds super and happy, all happy families, right? Then, a couple of months ago, the Council of the Cherokee Indians decided to boot out...
after 100 years.
The black Americans who were part of the Cherokee Nation. So, of course, this is the ultimate clash of political correctness. So, of course... I was very... whose side are you on? Do you
Me.
Do you hate black people and you're on the Cherokee Indian side? So are you on the Cherokee Indian side and hate black people, or are you on the black side and hate Cherokee Indians?
No, I'm on, as you know, I'm on everybody's side.
You're on everyone's side? Sounds like you're racist
issue,
both
the same
against
as you
black.
raised that issue with that woman from South Africa. You're
What?
trying to prove...
What?
That dark people are as racist and as destructive when you try to prove to me there were more...
I wasn't trying to prove that at all.
Whites killed in Zimbabwe or somewhere.
South Africa.
Than there were... I still don't believe
What?
that.
I'm not trying to prove anything. You see, that's interesting.
That's
you see, this is the problem. What I just said about the Cherokee Indians owning, that's interesting. But you don't want to hear about it because it's complicated.
It's as simple as innocent as you suggesting that Cherokee Indian woman thought that you were being rather roundabout in asking her to come to your place and you were going to show her your Scrabble set. Now, come on, John, fair go. We're not all... even the celibate.
In other American
I'm not going anywhere if somebody
racism
says,
news,
come to my place to see
in
the
other
Scrabble.
American Australian racism news, one of the things I shot in LA was with this woman who was a Thai American, and I was talking to her afterwards, all professional.
Of course, God,
But I was talking to her afterwards, and she said to me, she's going,
Ludo, you offered to play her.
she obviously she knew I was from Australia, and she said that her father was from Australia and gone to America. And I said, why did your father move? And she said that her father told her that Australia was so racist when he was growing up, he could not take it anymore, and he moved to America.
Yeah. What's that, 30 years ago or something?
Yeah, that's kind of disturbing.
Not necessarily true, of course, because he said it.
What do you mean? Why would he lie about that to his daughter?
Well, but
Are you saying
for God's sake,
white
you
Australians...
get one comment from one man, because he says it in the US of A.
What?
It's true. You've been infected by Bush's imperialism.
So what? I'm some kind of neocon because I sympathise with an Asian Australian who wanted to move to America.
Yeah, I
didn't say all white Australians were racist against all Asians.
That's what this girl wrote the book for, about language, for God's sake, to warn us against you.
I really thought you were going to react better to that.
But how did you want me to react?
John, that's an interesting insight into... have you twisted this against me?
Oh, I've been on the 2 months I've been training for this. Training.
Come out.
Night camps and everything.
Well, I might not be smart enough to attack you, Father Bob, but afterwards we have...
Mr. Pataki's going to get me.
With his book Against Religion. And unlike usual, because we usually have these people, dear listener, we usually have these people over the phone, and Bob acts all polite and he rolls his eyes. He rolls them and rolls them as the atheist is going on and on. Bob, try rolling your eyes now. He's going to be sitting opposite you in a studio.
Oh, dear God. Tamas Pataki.
Father Bob.
Yes, sir?
In the studio, we have a nemesis.
A nemesis.
An enemy of you and all you believe in. There's no way around it. He's published a book called Against Religion, where not only does he kind of say the broad things that everyone says, fundamentalism is wrong, he says people like you, like, the softy kind of comfortable snugglier religious people, you give way, you give permission for these fundamentalists to wreak their havoc. Thank you for joining us, Tamas Pataki. First of all, we have to know about your name. Why? What's your name?
It's a Hungarian name, and I've retained the Tamas. I never liked Thomas very much.
Fair enough.
Now, Thomas.
Against religion, that's pretty blunt. Now we all know what's wrong with religion, where there's guns and bombings and stuff like that, so you don't have to explain that. What's wrong with just innocently turning up to Bob's church once every Sunday and Bob giving his little homily? Homily, and his apologias and so
a little
forth.
collection.
And his little collection. What possibly could be wrong with that?
Well, possibly there's nothing wrong with it. I'm not sure that I'm not sure what Bob believes, and I don't know what he gives in his homilies. The general story about religion is this: that there's a spectrum of belief. And some people's belief is fairly rationally based. At the other end, we have fairly irrational type beliefs. Now, I don't go into this much into my book, but the general argument about benign belief supporting malign belief is that it prepares people for believing things that are highly improbable or not well evidenced or not well supported, and that they can progressively shift into the more malignant forms of belief that we're witnessing now in various places around the world.
Yeah, I agree with him.
You can't agree with him because then you're disagreeing with yourself, Bob.
No, I'm not, because you see, we presume that we know what religious person is on about. But that's my point is that it's time that blokes like Tamas, in fact, did a bit of this demolition of the rubbish that's accumulated, isn't it, over the centuries, and your beloved Hungary probably would be at the epicentre.
Well, it was. It wasn't entirely my beloved Hungary, but yes, there was a great deal of religiously inspired hatred and persecution in Hungary, as there was in much of Europe during the last century. And that of course, is part of the problem. And what I tried to do was to give some sort of analysis of how these things emerge.
So you can't argue against analysis.
Oh, you can. Now, what about, religion? It's comforting on a very personal level to people. Like if they're in distress, if you're living in the third world and things are awful, it provides this kind of comfort. What possibly is wrong with that?
Well, look, it certainly does provide comfort to a lot of people, and to many people in the world, it's the only comfort that they are provided with. But I come at it from a slightly different angle. How does the individual themselves perceive religion? If a person, having considered the arguments, having considered the weight of evidence, having realised in themselves their own need to relate to idealised omnipotent objects, that is somewhat perhaps delusional or unrealistic, then that person is confronted with what to do, what to believe. And I think an individual, if they're having come along this line of reasoning, are then confronted with how they to live their lives, what sort of self-respect they are going to live their lives with. They may well deny themselves to certain comforts, which now appear to them to be delusional. Or illusional.
Don't some religious types get off the hook by acknowledging that their faith is illogical? Even some priests would say that. They'd be going, I don't rationally believe this. It is just faith, but that's good enough for me.
Yeah, well, faith is a very complex concept. I mean, some philosophers, theologians argue that it's not a question of evidence at all, and belief in God and so on, but it's a certain attitude to the world, a certain attitude to life, a certain attitude to people, without any what philosophers call ontological or metaphysical implications. And there are many people who are religious but do not believe in God, or they're Christians but they deny the divinity of Jesus and so on. And so there's a whole range of things here, and each one has to be treated separately. So it's very difficult to talk about religion in general. It's an enormously complex phenomenon, and I think one does have to be careful about what aspects of it one picks up, and then what aspects one decides to address.
Now, they expected religion to die the death, didn't they, when science was so successful and popular in what? What do they call that? The
Enlightenment.
The Enlightenment.
Yep.
But then you're pointing out, and I know from practice, that in fact religion there is a resurgence.
Yep.
Your argument is not that there is a resurgence, but in fact that why and what good will it do? Because you suspect that it'll do more harm than good, especially in the US of A fundamentalist brand of resurgence.
Yeah. Well, look, as best I can follow the story in the media, there's actually a decline in religious profession in the moderate centres of religion, but there's a huge increase down towards the fundamentalist end, and that end is demonstrating that it can be pretty pernicious. And we need to say something about that and come to some sort of understanding of that.
Yeah, because I mean it colours the whole Middle Eastern idea that we're waiting for Armageddon.
Yeah,
and that George Bush, in fact, being a fundamentalist, sees everything, his politics, his war waging, in terms of a biblical showdown in a particular time and place.
Yes, well,
to you, that's
damn dangerous, I think. But as for the further question, I forgot to take this up when you said it about whether I see the world as better without religion. I don't have an answer to that. I don't know what the future holds, and it seems to me conceivable that the world could be a worse place without religion. But that doesn't mean that I wouldn't take steps to oppose religion.
No, you've got quite a task ahead of you. Your own statistics here that 85% of Americans believe in God, 98% of Nigerians, 90% of Indonesians, and 87% of people from Ireland. They're the worst, Father Bob. Do you think there's any chance of this religion going away anytime soon?
No, I don't think there is. I think in the foreseeable future there's going to be an increase, but not in the moderate centres of religion, but at the peripheries. And at the fundamentalist peripheries. The fastest growing religion at the moment is Pentecostalism. And that is, so some commentators say, replacing Catholicism.
Thank goodness, because they talk in tongues. They're far more... They're kind of like there's a downside and an upside. The downside is they don't have all the smells and bells and ridiculous gold threaded frocks that the Catholics have. Yes. So you're better at that.
Yes.
But the Pentecostals are better at the...
beautiful.
Healings flapping around on the floor and stuff.
Very popular in Latin America and very popular in Africa.
That's right.
Isn't it?
That's right.
So the greatest number of believers and churchgoers, as is said, in the next, 30 years or so, will in fact come from Nigeria and Africa and Latin America. And Europe will be not considered to be the centre of it.
Where was the Black Pope promised, Father Bob? Promised either a Black Pope or a Latino Pope to replace, or a Latin American Pope to replace your last Pope when he passed on. And it never happened.
He makes these things up. I want to know that. Can I ask Tamas?
Yes.
Your own experience. Now, I know you're going to say, they're going to try to hoist me on the petard. But I'm just interested, has your own experience of religion in your family life, has that helped or hindered or...
Well,
Are you a late... Because you're a philosopher.
Yeah.
Have you been thinking this through since you were a child?
I had a Jewish religious education. I'm Jewish. I had a bar mitzvah, and my father put us into, well, we called it Sunday school, but about the age of 8. And my best recollection of it is that I was pretty sceptical even in my early years.
Yeah.
I remember arguing with the rabbi about Jonah and so on. I read a lot of encyclopedias.
Jonah, what's the
as a
logic?
kid.
You can't be eaten by a whale.
Yeah, I was only 8 at the time, but it didn't make a hell of a lot of sense to me.
Pinocchio got eaten by a whale too. So it's not like Jonah's the only one who was eaten by a whale.
He wasn't the only one.
No.
He was the only one who lived.
Yes.
I remember when I was about 12 and I started expressing some doubts about it, and my father came from a very religious family and he wanted us to see what a religious upbringing was like. And I just couldn't make sense of, concepts of God and so on. And my father told me I was the only person in the world who did not believe in God. and this did frighten the hell out of me, But after I turned to philosophy and had some psychoanalysis and so on, the hold of religion lost its grip on me.
You had psychoanalysis? What does that mean?
Well, I entered into psychoanalysis and into treatment, and that made a very big difference to me because although philosophically I became sceptical about the arguments, I still had a certain an emotional receptiveness to religion. And it was a while before that underwent some sort of, naturalistic understanding, if I can put it that way.
But see, that to me, that is a beautiful journey that you've taken. I couldn't have any argument with that. You know what I mean? I can't see this. I threatened to read this if I've lost the damn thing now. Walt Whitman, the American.
Yep.
He says the secret of life is simple. Love the earth, the sun and the animals. Despise riches, stand up for the stupid and crazy, hate tyrants, don't argue about God.
Yeah.
And re-examine all you've been taught in school, church and in any book.
Look how he tried to sneak his propaganda in. Like it was all good, and then there's that one line, don't argue about God. Nice
I
nice
think
try,
we're wasting
Bob.
our time arguing about God. You know what I mean?
Well, if you're not going to argue, it's not good radio,
No, but
and we'll have to wrap
Tamas
it up.
is not arguing. You see, he's analysing.
Proposing. Your
See what I
book,
mean? The book
Against
should
Religion,
be read.
out
Against
now?
Religion.
Out now at all fine theosophical bookshops?
I believe so. I believe
it's
it was
here in
out
the
about a
thing.
week ago.
Excellent.
Under embargo until 2 June. And it's the... who's... What?
What?
Who's the publisher is...
The good people at Scribe.
Yeah.
Thank you very much
Gotta
for
read the
joining
book.
us. What's the church's position on gay naked yoga?
Gay and naked yoga... I don't know what the church would say about that. I can't turn this damn thing off. Yes, gay naked yoga. Don't know.
No. Because I partook in gay naked yoga in America.
Yoga or yogurt?
No, yoga.
Oh, that's better. I can. No, that's all right, isn't it?
I think so.
No filth.
The
No
pixelation.
sleaze.
But it was the pilot, so I had to go all out.
What?
It was filmed.
Oh, I see what you mean.
Yes. So there's footage
What were you
floating
making
about.
porno movies or something
No, it
over
wasn't
there?
porno. It was like,
That's
it
all right.
was investigative journalism where I found this gay naked yoga club.
Oh, yes.
And I went there with my camera crew and partook in it.
No, you put a mirror on your shoe
I put a mirror on my shoe.
so that you could see.
Believe me, I didn't have to put a mirror on my shoe to see.
Yes, that's what's happening in Australia's schools, they tell us. No, I don't know about gay naked yogurt. Look up the book, the rabbi's instruction book.
Well, can your apologia I feel like I'm enunciating the wrong...
Apologia.
Does your apologia cover... Could you add a little...
An explanation of my behaviour?
No, of gay naked yoga in it at the end.
Yes, but I haven't indulged in gay naked yoga. Nor have I bathed in gay naked yogurt. Thank you for that.
No, that's fair enough.
I've only sprinkled holy water. Not like yourself, who have extended, your experiences into the far reaches of... What about the steam lodges? See, I remember last year burying a young man who, in fact, died in an Indian, allegedly a Red Indian type steam ceremony in South Australia.
No way.
Yeah.
They had...
It's in the paper now. It's the coroner's court, so shut your mouth.
So, that case is the one that you buried the person?
Of course.
Wow.
Of course. We had to wait for the body to come all the way from there. It's a very sad case, kiddies, if you're wondering what I do for another job. You see, I received a telephone call the other night from Kerrang, asking me to go and bless the body of a young person who had been killed in the train crash. Because, you see, the coroner's court, otherwise known in my day as the morgue, is around the corner in my parish. See, they're all the little extras people don't know that...
Yes, we think it's all fun and games.
Well, no, but you might think it's all religious.
Yes.
Whereas most of it, in fact, is spiritual. So I'm not going to say, excuse me, that boy never went to Mass at all in Kerrang. What do you expect me to do? No, that's no good.
So what was that, this Red Indian, as you called it?
Well, that was strange.
Steam room.
I can't say anything, but in fact the idea is, and you know in your tours of the world about...
I might have to ask Chelsea Barnard, the half-Cherokee Indian who thought I was hitting on her when I asked her to play Scrabble.
Exactly. Did you ask her to play Scrabble in the heated teepee?
No.
No? Or the wigwam?
No.
No? Well, in fact, that heated lodge, that's before the coroner. Did the person die of overeating, not eating, heating, or of another cause? So they're just little things, John, just to let everybody know that...
Have you started... What are you reading at the moment?
I'm reading the... you'd be interested maybe in this. I'm reading... I finished Pynchon.
Pynchon?
Pynchon is the American novelist.
No one's ever read
The biggest book I've ever read in my life was Thomas Pynchon, I think his name, Pynchon.
No one's ever read one of those books before. You're the first person who's ever...
In the world.
Yes, you're the first person ever who's...
Against the Day.
I started
reading... Chums of Chance.
I started reading one of his, Gravity's Rainbow or something.
Earlier, yeah.
And then I turned it upside down and started reading it backwards, and it made more sense.
It doesn't make any difference.
No, it makes no difference.
That's the whole point. We're being suckered into a world of fantasy. Didn't you know that? So when you say to yourself, are they going on in detail about whether this is an aniseed drink or whether it's in detail? I worried about that book on the What?
That's probably why Mary Zournazi was so touchy about her 183 stinking pages.
This is 3,422 pages, at least.
Wasn't it a bit dangerous reading it in bed?
I read it, as you know, John, I'm a practising celibate. So I'm in bed alone, all right? That's my story.
Yes.
And I'm sticking to it, all right? You take this book to bed. Yes. Now you've got a practical problem because as you extend your arms, as you know, like that, listeners, we're trying to make it clear. We extend our arms as we lie flat in the bed and we hold the book at arm's length to read it.
Yes.
If the book fell because you dozed off, you could be the first case of adult cot death. Have you ever thought of that?
Crushed by a
Not just crushed, smothered by the damned 3,000 pages of Thomas Pynchon's Against the Day.
I noticed you had...
I finished it, thank God, and I put it away, and the next one's going to be the Yiddish Policemen's Union.
I'm up to page... What have you started?
Would you like to know?
No, don't give away anything. I'm up to page...
What?
It's Michael Chabon.
Yeah.
Is it Chabon or Chabon?
Chabon.
Chamon.
Charbon.
Chabon.
Bon. Oh, look, for God's sake, go on.
Who did it? The Amazing Adventures of Cavalier and Clay. Pulitzer Prize winner.
Yes.
I wish Everything I Liked won a Pulitzer Prize because it just shuts everyone up.
Yeah.
Like if you have a fight over someone whether you think The Amazing Adventures of Cavalier and Clay is a good book or not, you can just go, it won the freaking Pulitzer Prize. Yeah, sure, but you know more than the Pulitzer Committee.
That's the end of it.
Imagine you could just do that for everything you liked. Oh, sure, you don't like my cooking, but...
It won a Pulitzer Prize.
But
anyway,
have you started reading? Because I noticed that on your
you noticed
desk.
that, didn't you? Oh, that's on my desk, waiting to be read next.
Do you reckon? If I read it, I'm up to about page 250 or something.
Well, you're going to do this business about Book of the Week thing that you did with that woman on the television.
No, if you read it this week and I read it, then we can have a book club, like you and me, and we can sit around like Oprah's book club and we can talk about Michael Chabot.
Yeah.
So you're saying you don't pronounce the last N?
No, you don't in Francais, for God's sake. You've been there. Did you pronounce the N's?
I haven't been to France.
Have you never been to France?
No.
Oh, you must go to France. You're going to ask me if I've been to France. I got a phone call the other night. Listen to this. Old man, 73. I know we're talking too much. But the other night, ring, ring, ring. Yes. I said, who is it? He said, I'm ringing from outside the Acropolis. Isn't that nice?
Who was it?
A young man ringing up to book a wedding for November 2008. What a lovely thought.
He's still going to be...
Might have been Tony.
Tony who?
Mockbell. The night before he was pinched.
The skinny man with the wig.
Oh.
Father
Bob. Could have been Tony. I've got no name. So
coming up next,
Federal Police, don't pay me.
We have a
song of the week, is it?
A song,
back to the religious...
and then after the song, we'll come back and it'll be religious song of the week.
All right.
Sunday Night Safran on Triple J. Religious Song of the Week.
Father Bob.
Yeah?
I got you a present overseas.
Oh, the present. I forgot the present. What is
Religious Song of the Week present.
What is it?
I got it from, there's a record shop in LA called Amoeba Records where all the inner city hipsters go.
Yeah.
And they all have ironic kind of inner city hipster sideburns. And all that jazz.
Yeah.
Anyway, I found this record for you.
Give me a look.
You can read out the cover. It's 3 pieces of vinyl there.
Today, 54,000 priests control the lives of 40 million Americans. Now one speaks out with the unvarnished truths. Confessions of an ex-Roman Catholic priest. Emmett McLaughlin is his name. Slums, sex, false oaths. What the hell's this?
Here, pass it back to me.
What is it? This is a record?
Yeah, it's 3 records. Have a look at this. It's pretty good. Confessions of an ex-Roman Catholic priest.
Yeah.
Uncut, uncensored, from 1962. He's a priest from Arizona who left the church.
Yeah.
And look at this.
What, is he telling about his sins or about the sins of the fathers?
No, the sins of the church. I think it's proto-propaganda.
I see. Famous classical, like the one we had in the 20s. I jumped over the fence.
And look at this. Look at this. It's 3 albums. This is vinyl, beautiful vinyl. And have a look at this. You're going to like this one.
Yeah.
Look, what colour is this piece of vinyl?
Oh, beautiful orange.
And what colour is this one? That's record 1. Record 2, what colour is that?
Well, it looks like black to me.
It's blue.
Is it? All right.
And then what colour is this one?
What is this, a test or something? Oh, it's white.
Pieces of vinyl.
Yeah.
This is like about 6 hours of this ex-Catholic priest talking about the church.
I can play it to meetings of Catholic priests.
Okay, we'll just press play on the record player now. We'll hear the introduction to this record.
Do we?
It's not really a song. I don't know. This is on side 4 of the record. You can hear about confessional tends to encourage crime. Side 5, churches greed for more and more money. Can you hear the record? Why can't we hear the record? Oh, I've gone
His
mad.
truth is marching on. Marching on. I've got it.
Oh, there you go. Anyway, it gets onto it soon.
Yeah, now listen, but this is published when?
It's from 1962.
Oh, from that, not currently reissued. Is marching on.
I cannot be accused of being a liar about my break with the Catholic Church and its priesthood. The experiences that led to my break with Rome took place openly in Phoenix. The story was in the newspapers and on the radio, and the correspondence is still in existence.
In 1 minute, we will take you to Phoenix, Arizona, to meet the ex-Roman Catholic priest, Dr. Emmett McLaughlin.
6 hours.
Who they
by the
keep
way.
in a barrel of wine in case he goes off.
You can see why he became Protestant. He's very boring once he starts talking.
Yeah.
It's one of these things where the album cover's like better than the actual album.
So that's fascinating. That's fascinating. 1962, eh?
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are speaking to you from Phoenix, Arizona. Here in this thriving, beautiful, typically Western American city lives Emmett McLaughlin, ex-Roman Catholic priest. Resigning the priesthood after nearly 15 years at St. Mary's Roman Catholic Church here in Phoenix, Mr. McLaughlin now speaks out as a private American citizen. Emmett McLaughlin has written 3 silent bestseller books: People's Padre, American Culture and the Catholic School, and Crime and Immorality in the Catholic Church. He has traveled the 4 corners of the land, lecturing to literally hundreds of thousands. His mail is measured by the ton. Letters from people of all faiths and walks of life.
Mr. McLaughlin.
The recorded transcriptions you are about to hear contain direct answers to the questions most often asked in these letters and from the audiences where he has spoken.
Just get on with it.
Many things you are about to hear are direct quotes from his books. This is authentic. This is completely uncensored. This is Emmett McLaughlin, truly the people's padre. Mr. McLaughlin tells us first why he speaks.
I would like to make it clear at the very outset that I do not speak out of spite nor of hatred.
I've never heard the word spite said so spitefully.
I speak for 3 principal reasons.
Honestly, 6 hours
The first
of this.
is
Anyway,
to
it's
acquaint
kind of
Roman
good to...
Catholics
6 hours.
themselves
6 hours of
with
this.
the truth of the secret
Thank
inner
you, sir. Paul, can you
workings.
please feed it down? Anyway, I hope you like it.
Oh, that was. I found that very thrilling on a Sunday night in that holy city of Melbourne. Oh, God bless the Catholic Church.
Now,
62 was a good year too, because it was a year when I think the Catholics were opening up to the world in which they lived, John. So I suppose this must have come out as a reaction to that. Get back into your shells.
it's time for us to wrap up the
No,
show.
it is
Father
time
Bob.
for you've depressed me now.
He's bored us to tears. Let me tell you, that's the most interesting part of the record. When I bought this, I was thinking it's going to be really exciting.
Very pretty records.
Yeah.
Is that
there you go.
mine?
That's yours.
I can play that to the priesties and let what's left of the clergy. And they may start publishing their own memoirs of their years. Anyway, be that as it may, it's great to have you back, Jono.
Good to have you
Back.
Father
from,
Bob.
Yes.
Thank you, Mary Zournazi.
And Sarah Peel, our producer.
And Tamas Pataki.
Very nice, Thomas Pataki. And who
And
else?
that Belgian guy, Luc Venderstad.
Yes, exactly. With his movies at the gas station. Well, if we survive... We got hours to go yet.
I know. I don't know why we wrapped up so early.
No, because this is your first time back. And you
Very
can't say that you
unprofessional.
had to rush home tonight for
On Sunday,
Shabbos.
on Shabbos, no.
No, not on Sunday.
No, not on
Which
Sunday
is the
night.
Roman Catholic, as you know, Sabbath.
Yes.
So I will have to rush home.
We're going so good, and now we're just kind of petering out into
Yes. Well, why don't we have a moment of naked yoga?
You know, I threw a tantrum because editing's all done on computers these days. And so I thought they'd sent out the story of my naked yoga without the pixelation. So I sent a furious email to the editors going, why this is an outrage. And then, came to pass that I was looking at the wrong version, and in fact they did send out the pixelated version.
Thank God for that, because the other would have been
horrendous.
Too much, really.
Thank you, Father Bob.
An apocalypse.
I will see you next week.
Triple J.